Hello, welcome to this update for Europe about this storm. So this has just got a lot bigger, these storms today, especially in spots of Germany, into the Netherlands, France, and Belgium as well. We also have more storms through Italy and France and Northern Africa and Spain and more areas. So let's see here. A level 3 was issued for far eastern Netherlands into northwestern Germany, mainly for swaths of damaging wind gusts. A level 2 was issued for northeastern France into southeastern Denmark for severe wind gusts. Large hail is possible, mainly in the western part of this level area. A level surrounds both levels for hail and strong to severe downpours and heavy rain risk. A level 1 is for parts of the Alps into southeastern France and Italy, mainly for hail, strong to isolated severe gusts, and heavy rain. A level 1 is for parts of northern Algeria, mainly for large hail and severe downburst wind gusts. So stay safe in those areas. We have many features affecting today's forecast, such as there's this big ridge over the Atlantic, and there's these lower pressures near Scandinavia there. They're spreading to Germany, and also this big trough there in Russia, it's more like a cutoff low, more like southwestern Russia, and southern southeastern Europe is still kind of hot and some higher pressure. So let's see here, especially for France, Germany, those areas. So I think that's going on is that there's some guidance diverges a bit regarding the depth of the cap offshore along the coast, but there's effective deep layer shear in the 15 to 20 meters per second range will be enough for numerous elevated supercells. So there's a possibility that we will have effective shear for that. Nothing's guaranteed, but we might have some more wind shear for those storms. So be careful. And here, especially there's cape and everything. So the intense diabatic heat beneath the African MEL plume mixes the BL up to 3 kilometers, and we probably will see isolated scarce side around the afternoon onwards along the orography of central France. This high-based activity evolves in weak shear environment and will cape like 500 to 1000 joules per kilogram range, probably lower by the entrainment. And chems produce excessive gas might be overdone a bit, but what was the case as yesterday. But still, a few severe downburst events are possible next to some hail. Big times erratic storm oceans tend to cause temporal clustering, which increases local heavy rainfall risk. We also see increased mid-level and low-level moisture, bad times from southwest and the south respectively, which increase in local heavy rain threat towards the evening. So be careful in those areas further north from northeastern France to northern Germany, constantly strengthening and gradually eastward moving low-level convergence zone turns very unstable during the afternoon, up to 1,500 joules per kilogram of Cape, and most areas ahead of the convergence zone, Cape will increase to 2,000 joules per kilogram along the periphery of the convergence zone itself. Forecast soundings shows bordering mid-level Cape profiles atop deeply mixed BL along the inverted signatures. The gross decay parameter has local peaks of 1,500 joules per kilogram, so a mix of heavy precipitation load with effective evaporation drives any downdraft growing cold pool with PL and wet bulb temperatures 10 to 15 kilometers below the 2 meter peaks. Effective deep cold pools are forecast, especially strong kinematics near the frontal zone, 15 to 20 meters per second, 0 for 3 and 0 for 6 kilometers shear, weaken further. Further east, a confirmed belt of favorable cape and shear space evolves in parts of Benelux into northern Germany, probably into southeastern Denmark. So initiating cells over Belgium, Netherlands, and far west and northwestern Germany during the afternoon pose risk for hail, and a few large events near the convergence line cannot be ruled out. And 3 to 4 centimeter hail in diameter possible. Heavy rains also concern the PUA values of 30 to 4 millimeters and surging region mid upper troposphere moisture from the southwest to the area of interest. The main story, however, be strong to severe downburst events. A few damaging events cannot be ruled out. Gusts in the BFT 10 through 12 range. These initial events should be more localized ones. The main story, however, will be when the IPV maximum passage to the north, which adds more background dynamics, increases shear near the convergence zone, and the northeastward passing wave with initiating cells and balancing short elongated corridor of adequate shear and cape for long-lived thunderstorm activity in northern Germany. This is important, and growing cold pools will not only get support by internal storm scale dynamics, but also by improving shear in the low-level shears. This is 0 to 3 kilometer layer with up to 15 to 20 meters per second forecast. This amount of shear atop a well-mixed BL is concerning regarding long track severe bow echo events, which rides along the low-level converges on into over northwest into northern Germany. Swift, so damaging gusts and some hail possible. This activity affects parts of Denmark, may spread into southern Sweden during the night, but uncertainties increase on how unstable the air mass becomes that far north, next to increasing capping issues. So you got a basic idea there. So please be careful in those areas, the damaging winds and everything. Especially like here, we can see the storms with the a raw model, this high resolution model, and does show here like this goes. And a few afternoon storm starts in the Alps and the Pyrenees and central Italy. There's that level 1. So this goes and shows those cells initiating around Germany and like northwestern France, northeastern France into Belgium and the Netherlands. So shows some very strong storms there, especially later in the evening through southern Belgium. Some very dangerous storms with damaging winds and hail. So stay safe in those areas. And I think there's a very tiny tornado threat, but especially there are supercells that manage to sustain themselves with that shear, but the shear is not too high, but there might be a very, very small tornado threat. But the main thing with this is damaging winds. So this shows some very robust ones in Germany later in the evening, like some very dangerous cells. So this goes and like and then it ends. But Thursday tomorrow shows more storms central Spain to northeastern Spain, there in the mountains and like into Catalonia, more spots near Madrid, central Spain, or just south of east of Madrid. But be careful in those areas. Shows like more across the Alps, Germany, Switzerland, and Austria, and Italy Thursday. Some in central Italy, even central Corsica there in the mountains. And today shows stronger ones in central Italy, July 2nd, and more northeastern Spain near the mountains and also central Spain. So be careful, those storms there. And this model has Cape as well. So let's see here. Shows those areas, a few areas in Belgium, to like some oranges, close to 2000 joules per kilogram, and a few very isolated spots shows like 500 to 1000 joules per kilogram in the green, and more in the yellow, like France, spots in northwestern Germany to 1500 joules per kilogram, like 1200 a few spots, and more. So be careful in those areas. This model shows wind gust as well. Not sure if it shows the storms. I think it does. So as you can see there, like let's just put Germany like north. So shows like in the evening, this very high wind gusts passing through northwestern Germany. You can see some blacks and some reds. That's equivalent to like more than 100 km per gust. Those storms, possibly to 130 km per gust in a few areas, if this model is right. But you never know. But this is possible and shows earlier across Belgium, northeastern France, close to some 80 to 90 km per gust, close to 100. So stay safe. Those storms, they might get serious. So be careful. Those areas, and this is the shear forecast, the deep layer shear, and it shows like across Germany, especially into the Netherlands and Belgium, shows some spots in the 40 to 50 kilometers per second range, but it does show across Germany some spots in the green to like yellow, shows all the way to 35 some spots. So there is some adequate here. This around 9 p.m., but a little bit earlier, 7 p.m., when there'll be more storms. It does show more shear in Belgium and the Netherlands, but does show a little bit in Germany already. But it shows it increasing during the night later. But even like this time in the evening, this is some good cheer for a few stronger cells. So stay safe in those areas. The storm relatively is more over Belgium and the Netherlands, but later in the night does increase somewhat in Germany. But especially be careful in Belgium and the Netherlands as well. And like be careful. There's the updraft Holisti show like a few spots in Germany later in the night, and but this is not too impressive to see this. But yeah, be careful. There's the mixed layer Cape. Does show around 4 p.m., 3 p.m., even to like 1,500 joules per kilogram, and then this goes, it decreases layer because of the storms, but be careful in those areas. Stay safe. There's this hail forecast as well. Shows like northern Spain, some spots even like 25% chance of some large hail. Spots across northern Germany, Belgium, those areas shows some chances for larger hail to not able to like 5 centimeter hail. So stay safe in those areas. Show like today this does grow. It's not shown on the other map, but this does grow into like some 15 to 25% in the 3 hour range. So be careful in those areas. Some very large hail. And then Thursday, tomorrow, still in Spain, France, and Italy, some spots southern Europe, those storms might have some hail too. So stay safe in those areas and be careful. And still shows like, let's see, more stuff here. So shows those storms into next week as well. So Friday still shows in the Alps and the Pyrenees and northern Spain. Saturday shows more across France and Spain especially, but in Italy into the Alps. To the Alps as well, but the European wants a more widespread storm event on Sunday, July 6th. So Sunday is definitely a day to watch. The GFS is more into the Alps there. The icon is more into Italy, but a finger or two in Spain. And Sunday into Monday does have more stuff in Spain there. This would be fantastic to take some photos, but yeah, it always changes. The European on Tuesday, the 8th, has just a finger or two in Spain, but has a giant thing in Poland with that low pressure system, so that will be interesting as well. This goes shows more into northeastern Europe Wednesday, the 9th into Thursday, but yeah, be careful those storms coming, especially like if I put it until July 9th, shows in Slovenia and Italy, more than 100 meters from those storms across Spain, some more as well, France, and even more rain in the UK, especially northern UK, those fronts. So be aware, northern Spain as well. The south is fairly dry, Portugal and southern Spain, and southeastern most Europe too. But Turkey and the Caucasus, more scared storms as well. So be careful, shows Finland to Sweden, Norway, some more accumulation from those storms too. And like stay safe in those areas. And some gusty winds from that low pressure developing Sweden and Denmark there. This is some very high gusts in a few spots, so stay safe. Thursday, Friday into Estonia and Finland, some higher gusts and some waves too. So yeah, into Russia later Friday, and some gusts near the UK and near the northwestern coast of Spain as well. So this goes, and yeah, and those storms, of course, will have strong winds. So be careful in those areas. Show snow here, like some spots of the Alps. Why it's showing snow in the Alps if it's so hot? But I think it's because of all of these storms and precipitation, and in the higher terrain, like the highest peaks, it might produce some snow because the European is showing out a little bit of snow in the higher terrain there next 7 days. The GFS does have a too in Austria, in Switzerland. The icon, nothing. The icon, nothing. But the European, the GFS does have some, do have some. The European shows like a little bit in Norway, those higher mountains, and finger two in Iceland as well, in the Caucasus. The European still has some snow northeastern Turkey into the Caucasus. So stay safe in those areas. Shows here like something very dangerous that's called wildfire. And Turkey has been raging with wildfires. Turkey, spots of France, I've seen many fires too in Spain. There, I saw many active fires, some news yesterday. So please be careful in those areas. Stay away from fires. And the conditions are very hot, fairly adequate for fires to spread. So stay safe in those areas. Does show slightly cooler in Russia because of that low pressure, but there's still these very hot temperatures, especially Germany into France. The heat wave, the worst is gone for Paris, but still very hot. Many spots of France. Germany still like 37 plus, very hot across Spain, some 40 degrees, spots in northeast and southern Spain. In Italy, even like 37, a few spots in Rome and southern Italy. So stay safe. In the ground, after this hot afternoon, there'll be plenty of fuel for those storms because of this heat. So yeah, be careful. Wednesday, Thursday shows as this front moves northeast, the worst heat goes down to southern Europe, to Poland, Hungary, and spots in Italy still. Spain still remains hot. Southern Spain to some 40 degrees, a few areas, Portugal. So be careful in those areas. In Hungary, more spots there Thursday, Friday, further south into Hungary, Romania, Belgium, not Belgium, that's Serbia, sorry, and into Italy, some 37 degrees still, spots of Spain, quite warm in France still, but not as hot as before. So this goes and like still shows across Bulgaria, Romania to 38 by July 6th, more spots in Hungary and still across southern half of Spain. So be careful in those areas. And yeah, stay safe in the north. It's not cold, but not hot either. It's okay. It's cold a few nights, especially in the mountains like far into Scandinavia, a little bit cold, but the southern areas are more mild. So yeah, southern UK is quite warm and in other spots slightly colder, but mild as well. To Iceland, some spots milder. So be aware in those areas and stay safe too. Be careful. Let's just see something else here for those storms. So the show like let's find some different model. So there's the Aladdin for the Alps and Central Europe. So today does show those storms across France into Italy and the Alps. There'll be storms in Spain too, but they probably won't reach the coast today. Yesterday they almost reached it, but not quite. And tomorrow shows some very strong storms in Germany and Czechia, especially in Austria. So be careful tomorrow and more widespread storms in northeastern Spain possible tomorrow. Still might not reach the coast, but might get very close to it. So stay tuned like while it's happening. And shows same thing in Italy, those central mountains, and then this only goes until Saturday. So be careful in those areas. And today those severe storms in Germany, Belgium, France, and everything. So stay safe. And this image here is actually a storm I saw yesterday near the mountains. It's very cool shot. So yeah, stay safe.